Hey guys, this video is about rabbit necessities. In other words, this video is about things that are necessary for your rabbit to have in order to live a good or at least decent life. Some of these things need to be used all of the time, and some of them only have to be used every few months to years or possibly never. Number 1. Living environment and bunny proofing. Rabbits should live in a space that is safe for them and will prevent them from getting attacked by predators. Examples include inside the house, a run, a hutch if it is a big hutch, or an exercise pen. If a rabbit lives in a house, then there would probably be a lot of stuff around that you should stop them from chewing, such as wires or plants. It is necessary to provide a way to avoid mishaps from happening in this regard, such as putting some sort of casing around wires, such as plastic casing or tubing, or putting a barrier around electronics and having plants be in a different room away from your rabbit altogether. Unless you can maybe put plants on top of something that your rabbit can't reach, but even then it may be risky. And if you want to play video games in the same room as your rabbit, I would suggest charging your controller and not charge while playing, as that would require a wire to be around your rabbit. Depending on where the rooms in your house are, it may be a good idea to put a gate up to prevent your rabbit from going to the other side of your house. If they are already in a room that is a good amount of space, such as the front room, it is absolutely necessary for a rabbit to have a good amount of space in the environment that they live in. They don't belong in an enclosed space almost ever. The only time it is acceptable to keep a rabbit in an enclosed space is if they are in a carrier to bring them somewhere. I will be going into more detail about carriers in number 11. Number 2. Attention and company. It is necessary for a rabbit to be provided a way for them to get interaction and attention. This could be through having another rabbit to be friends with, or people to provide that interaction instead. If a rabbit is lonely, then they could get really depressed, which causes stress, which significantly decreases their lifespan. Rabbits should be given attention most of the time. Unless they want to be alone for a certain amount of time, they may need their space sometimes. If you give your rabbit a good amount of attention, then this will let them know and demonstrate to them that you care about them. They can really be a member of your family, as well as Sandy was and now Timmy. If you are going to have rabbits in a pair, make sure they are neutered if they are the opposite genders. Number 3. Diet. Rabbits need to be fed the right amount of food and in the right quantities to prevent being overweight, and have a good amount of hay. Pellets are a good example of food that should be fed in moderation, as they are pretty much the equivalent of McDonald's for rabbits. Fruit should be fed in moderation and treated as treats, and green vegetables should be fed in moderation also, while hay should be 80% of their diet. Regarding pellets, it is important to keep note of what brand and what type of pellets you are getting, since some can be more healthy than others, and some believe that rabbits don't need pellets at all, even the ones that are branded as healthy. I disagree with this, since giving rabbits treats every now and again is a key in establishing a bond with them, and depriving them of pellets if they were used to them before might affect that. Number 4. Water. Just like humans and other animals, rabbits absolutely need water to survive, and should have access to water most of, if not all of the time. And especially during a heat wave, your rabbit will drink water a lot more frequently. Rabbits need water in order to be hydrated, and if they refuse to drink water, consult your vet for advice, because if your rabbit is dehydrated enough, that could end fatally. Nowadays, many people, myself included, suggest rabbits drink water out of a bowl that was specifically designed for that purpose, and to not drink out of a water bottle. Studies have proven that rabbits have a much easier time and seem to prefer bowls to drink out of, and that they have more hydration benefits when they drink water out of bowls compared to water out of water bottles. Water that is provided to rabbits should be clean and given frequently. Sometimes bowls that rabbits drink water out of can last a few days to a week. I would say clean out the bowl as soon as you notice that it is starting to get dirty. Litter box. Rabbits should have somewhere in their living environment that acts as a litter box to use as a bathroom for them. You should put lots of sawdust and hay in there. For example, my rabbit Timmy has 2 different litter boxes with just about the same amount of sawdust and hay, which is quite a lot. He often flip-flops between them. If you have an extra litter box lying around, whether that be because of a previous rabbit or something, if you have enough space, then maybe have 2 different litter boxes, as your rabbit may appreciate the opportunity of variety by having one litter box that is open and out there, and one that is more private. Hay should be 80% of a rabbit's diet, so putting hay in their litter box is a good way for them to consume it. Hay should always be available for your rabbit, even if they don't eat it all of the time, as depriving them from having hay around all of the time can lead to severe problems like GI stasis. Their litter boxes usually have to be cleaned frequently as they can start to smell really bad. The longest you can leave it is probably a week, so 7 days, but even that is pushing it. I would say clean it as soon as it starts to smell, which could be once every 3 to 4 days or so. Some rabbits smell more than others. For example, whenever we had to take the litter boxes out with my rabbit Sandy, it would smell within like 3 to 4 days. But with Timmy, it can be up to like a week or even 2 weeks without it smelling. So it can depend from rabbit to rabbit. Number 6, entertainment. Rabbits should have things to chew on and require constant stimulation, and chew toys accomplish both of these things. Just be careful on what the material the chew toys are made out of, and make sure that they are actually good for rabbits, as that could end fatally. For example, my rabbit Timmy chews on apple sticks quite often. You could build your rabbit a house out of cardboard, or even being in a lot of hay could be entertainment to them. Another form of entertainment for rabbits is playing with them and giving them general attention, which would consist of stroking them, sharing food together in moderation, and if it isn't too bad for them, fetch, tug of war, and just general tricks with them. All of these things will likely keep your rabbit entertained. And another form of entertainment is to let your rabbit explore around your house. Just make sure to take the right precautions when doing this, and that everything that could be a danger to them is bunny proofed. Number 7, a place to sleep. Depending on their living environment, rabbits might not even need to have an area specifically designed for them to sleep in. But in some living environments, it may be necessary, especially if they are used to it, or it could just be a nice thing to add. With that being said, as long as they have a good amount of space, they will probably find a good place to sleep, especially if you have a sofa. They might flip-flop between different places to sleep, but that might be a good thing if they feel it's necessary due to variety and curiosity. Number 8, nail clippers. It is good to have nail clippers lying around somewhere. For rabbits, nails do take some time to grow, so you don't have to clip their nails every day. Once you clip their nails, you probably won't have to worry about that for at least 2 months, maybe even longer, depending on the rabbit, or how long of nails you think is too long. Number 9, tweezers. These are used to remove splinters if they get in your rabbit's fur. You might never have to use them, but it is still good to have some lying around regardless, so that if something does happen, you can fix the problem as soon as possible and not have to rush to the store at the last minute. Number 10, hairbrush. If your rabbit has a lot of fur, then you may need to have their fur brushed every now and again. Number 11, carrier. It is practical to have a carrier lying around, especially if you plan on putting your rabbit in a car or a flight. Some people forget this or straight up don't know because they adopt a rabbit from somewhere individually and then the owner gives them the rabbit in the cage. However, in most other situations, they would probably be put in a carrier already provided, or you might be expected to have one. You should only use carriers if necessary, which is if you need to bring your rabbit somewhere, bring them to your rabbit sitter's house, or travel with them. Rabbits will be under stress in these situations, but as long as you only do it when necessary, take the right precautions, and it's not every day, it's probably acceptable. Number 12, if you get a rabbit, make sure they are over 7 weeks old. This is because a rabbit needs at least 7 weeks with their mother. Surprisingly, many rabbits under 7 weeks of age have gone up for adoption. Without those 7 weeks with their mother, a rabbit is more likely to have a weaker immune system, as well as being more likely to get infections. 13. Money. Depending on whether or not you are adopting or using a breeder to get a rabbit, the price of a rabbit will likely be around $100, which may seem reasonable until you realize that all of the things you will have to provide your rabbit to give them a nice living environment will add up to hundreds of dollars. And on top of this, a vet can be quite expensive. Make sure you are financially stable and have good money management skills before getting a rabbit. Examples of things that will add up to more money are food, a cage, a litter box, hay, sawdust, and chew toys. Everything that a rabbit needs, or they should have, it will add up to hundreds of dollars, especially if you're providing your rabbit food in the right amounts and that is good for them, bringing them to the vet, and overall taking care of them properly, which you definitely should be doing anyway. Number 14, emergency backup. You can have a first aid kit which would consist of all of the necessary things that can help your rabbit and help them generally calm down before they can see a vet if something goes wrong. These can consist of a digital thermometer, which is used to take your rabbit's temperature, so that way you know if there is an emergency at all. A stethoscope, can be put up to their stomach to hear gut sounds to determine if there is a problem. A blanket to put them in so you can give them medicine. Not every item in this kit has to be for anything super concerning that will cause them to go to the vet. It could be a convenient way to find items easily that might come in handy when certain situations happen, or for things that are typically expected to be used relatively often. Examples include hairbrushes, nail clippers, tweezers, and hairbrushes. For a first aid kit, you could use a pouch to keep all of this stuff. Think about it this way: if you need to clip your rabbit's nails and they're getting long and you can't find nail clippers, you might forget about it and keep putting it off and putting it off until it becomes a problem, as those nails won't clip themselves. This is why it is a good idea to keep all of these items for rabbits in an organized place, such as a pouch, so that you are less likely to lose them. 15. It is vital to be aware of signs of illness in rabbits, to recognize that rabbits are really good at hiding sickness, and to bring them to the vet at least once a year. And if something is wrong and if you come to the conclusion that your rabbit is sick, you should bring your rabbit to the vet as soon as possible. To stress how good rabbits are at hiding sickness, one way that helps rabbits hide sickness is not being able to vomit. Rabbits can't vomit, which is a problem because if they did vomit, then you would know right away that something is wrong, usually, unless they threw it for a different reason. Number 16, hay rack. While litter boxes can be a good way of providing hay for your rabbit, it also results in a lot of hay not being eaten and subsequently wasted. So you could provide other ways for your rabbit to have hay around, and one of those ways is through a hay rack. There are many ways to do this, such as putting hay and grass in a cardboard box or a wood box separate from their litter box and putting it close to their litter box so that they can know it's an option and that they don't always have to rely on their litter box for hay consumption. Thank you for watching this video, and bye!